Ciao everyone and welcome back to a new episode of Learn Italian with Songs. Today we are still in ASMR mode because my throat is still recovering, but we are going to talk about nonetheless Viva la vita by Francesco Gabbani. Now, are you familiar with the name Francesco Gabbani? Could be. Because I actually don't remember when, he won the Festival of Sanremo. Buonasera. So, everyone was kind of like, oh my god, what is going to bring? We are going to talk about the answer to this question. So, letting all the gossip for the end, let's start as usual with the translation of the title, okay? For our Spanish friends, might be very easy because there is a very famous song with the title in Spanish, which is exactly the same, Viva la vida. But in Italian we put the T instead of the D. If I had to translate it in English, it would be something like long live life, bless life. Okay. And you might wonder, something like a song that is titled like that, what could it be? The theme, well, I guess you can imagine. As usual, I got a statement by the artist and I translated it in English. So, Francesco Gabbani said, the song Viva la vita that I will present at Sanremo, because he released this statement, this is one of the statements released before the festival, because before of the festival we have interviews where they are not allowed to disclose the song, so they can't sing and whatnot, otherwise they get disqualified. They can just talk about the song indirectly. So, for example, describing the vibe, the concept, they can talk about the lyrics at certain point because the lyrics are revealed before the start of the festival. And so here, this is taken from an interview before the festival. And he says, the song Viva la vita that I will present at Sanremo and that I will sing with great pleasure is a song that was born from the need to tell the essence of existence in its most basic terms. Beyond all the intellectual superstructures, we search, perhaps in a frenetic way, to arrive at something material and all the problems that we create for ourselves. It is a song that reminds us how important it is to be aware that we are alive and that we must be grateful for being alive. I'm going to talk about this later. I believe that in one way or another, this song concerns all human beings. If this song were an image, it would be two people holding hands and they go while they go towards the horizon and breathe. I will refrain from commenting this because we are going to talk about all of these during the discussion at the end of after the commenting the lyrics. So, talking about lyrics, let's start and dive into the lyrics. The structure, it is quite classic. We have an intro, a verse, pre-chorus and chorus, the second verse, pre-chorus, a variation of the chorus and the outro. Clean. So, let's start from the intro. Ma non lo vedi? But don't you see it? E non conta se non ci credi. And it doesn't matter if you don't believe in it. che siamo, so, what don't you believe in? Che siamo un momento, that we are a moment, tra sempre e mai più, between forever and nevermore. So, little note on contare. Contare literally it is to count, and if something counts, it means it is worthy, and so it matters. Okay, that's why it doesn't matter. I use it as the translation of e non conta. Okay, so what is the premise proposed in the intro? It is a statement, a matter of fact. Even if you don't believe in it, there is a fact, a truth that you cannot ignore, that we, as human beings, our lives, are just a moment, a blink in the eternity. So between forever, because we are part of the forever, and nevermore, because it is when we will be dead. Okay? Because it gives a bit the idea that when we are alive, it is kind of like we are going to live forever. I think we all had probably this feeling at least once in our life. And then we also have to keep in mind a bit of memento mori, that we are going to die. And so we will become the nevermore. In this case, ignoring the whole religion, or the whole bunch of religions thinking that we are going to reincarnate. But, so this is the premise. Our life, it is just a fleeting moment in the eternity. It is just a blink in the eternity. And it doesn't matter if you don't believe it, if you don't believe in it, because this is the reality. This is an objective truth. It's not what I think. It is the premise of the song. Then we have the first verse. Come una poesia, like a poem, dentro l'eternità, inside eternity, per una botta e via, for a one night stand. Sarà che una bugia, maybe it's that a lie, dice la verità, tells the truth, più della verità, more than the truth. Ma com'è limpida, but how clear it is, com'è domenica, how is Sunday, like how much this is Sunday. Yeah, the existential questions on Friday night hitting hard and wait, I'm not even there yet. Okay, so, as usual, today I fight against a fly. I swear to God, I already killed one. And sadly, the fly is too smart to approach the turtles because I know that the turtles would eat that fat ass fly going around, and it's buzzing. It's kind of driving me crazy, but I'm trying to keep my composure. That said, per una botta e via, I translated it as for a one night stand, because usually una botta e via, it is a one night stand. But the literal translation, it is a bit different, because the literal translation of una botta e via means a hit and go. Like, oh my god, there is always a joke Alex makes with this, with something similar. Hit and run, something like that. It is pretty much the idea behind the idiom in Italian. It is hit and run, because via it is basically andare via, ok? Una botta e si va via, where the verb to go it is implied, so it would be a hit and go away. Now, and you might tell me, but Silvia, how do you say hit, like when you hit something? Now, you can say dare un colpo, like beat something, okay? Give, hit something, okay? But you can say dare una botta, which is to hit, to give a hit, okay? Now, se tu dai una botta ad una cosa, so if you hit something, it is a hit, okay? Because you are hitting something, because you give the hit to an object. For example, ho dato una botta al muro, like I hit the wall, like I smacked against the wall. But se dai una botta a una persona, so if you give a hit, okay, to someone, you're fucking them. In fact, like in English, there is the would meme. Like, I don't know, one of the memes is like, like one of viral memes on TikTok, I guess it was. It was like someone making a cake with a picture of someone that is supposed to be unfuckable, or even things, and like to give a TED talk on why it's okay, like on why you want to fuck it. Or like you see unhinged things and you have people commenting like, would, why? I would fuck. This is what it is implied. If I had to translate the would in that sense in Italian, so with that very specific nuance borderline meme, it would be una botta gliela darei, okay? Which literally translates like, I would hit it, okay? I would give it a hit. But in that case, it's like, I would fuck it. I would fuck them, okay? So, non date le botte alle persone, okay? Also, it works only if it's singular. In fact, prendersi a botte, it means to beat each other, because it means to exchange, give each other hits, so when you beat each other. So, don't, unless you want to express the fact that you want to fuck someone, don't say, gli darei una botta, okay? I just wanted to stress and underline this very important nuance. And then we have our beautiful futuro epistemico. I don't know if it is a coincidence that we had 2 uses of future simple in a week. Like, I don't know if it is a coincidence of if I actually ignored the fact that we had futuro epistemico also in other songs. I don't remember. But just to recap, because repetita iuvant, di futuro epistemico, the epistemic future, it is a specific usage of the future simple. Normally, just like in English, future simple, it is used to describe something that will happen in the future. But in this case, it represents a maybe, okay? That's why I translated it as maybe it's a lie, because it is an eventuality, but not in the future, okay? It is an eventuality, but a maybe, okay? What normally would be a congiuntivo, a subjunctive, to express uncertainty, an hypothesis, there you go. Here it is substituted by this specific type of future. How do you know if a future Sorry. How do you know if a future simple is actually a futuro epistemico? Because often you find it in a formula which is sarà che, okay? Which we could translate as maybe it's that. But also, if you can change it with penso che, ok, potrebbe essere, if you can change these two options and the sentence still has a sense, then it is a futuro epistemico, ok? But you can simply understand it from the context. So, what is this truth, this truth that is so clear? I would say life, okay? Life, it is a poem inside eternity, which is a very beautiful image, very well put. And the lie would be that we can actually live forever. Maybe it's a criticism towards religions. I don't know. But I swear to God. The idea, in my opinion, this truth is what is described at the beginning of the verse. Now, limpida, usually limpido, it is clear said of water, of the sky, so a clear sky, a clear water, and it's something transparent, so usually la verità è chiara, ok? But in this case, it's not only chiaro, but it's limpido, ok? Limpida, because la verità. And it is to convey the idea that it is not only evident, okay? Like it's crystalline, okay? It is transparent for how clear in all senses this truth is. Now we have come domenica. Now, why this truth about life should be like a Sunday? Again, this is all about interpretation. It could be because Sunday passes fast, right? This is my interpretation. We all have this thing that for the entirety of the week, we are like, oh my God, I can wait. It's the weekend. Oh my God, I'm so tired. And then the weekend arrives and it is fun. It is great. It is beautiful, but it does not last. And you could tell me, but then why not Sabato? First of all, I guess because metrics, because domenica, sabato, one syllable is missing. Weekend, fine settimana, too long, so probably is because domenica fit. But it could also be because domenica passes even faster because it is the last day of the weekend. So, and also because we have the looming idea on the idea, the reminder looming on us that domenica is the end. Is the end of the week, is the end of the nice things in the week, of course, but it is the end. So probably there are several reasons why this conception of life is described as domenica Like there are several reasons. Matrix, because it passes fast, because it is positive, but it also represents the end, or like something that is about to end, like a closure. Then again, maybe you have other interpretations. Of course, don't be shy and let me know. This is what I think about it. And also, now that I think about it, probably because it's sacred. Italy is very attached to Catholic Church, okay? And Sunday is the holy day for Christians. So, just like Sunday is the day dedicated to God for the Christians, it is the holy day, okay? And given the perspective we are seeing in the song, it could also hint about the fact that life is precious and sacred, has like an element of the divine, okay? And then we have the pre-chorus. Viva la vita così com'è. Long live life as it is. Yeah, like I don't feel it right away, this connection with the church, because I'm not religious, but like it came a bit after, but it would make sense. Like everything given and considered, it would make sense to give it that nuance. Anyway, then we have the pre-chorus, Viva la vita così com'è. Long live life as it is. Viva la vita, questa vita che. Long live life, this life that. È solo un attimo. It's just a moment. Un lungo attimo. A long moment. Viva la vita finché ce n'è. Long live life as long as there is any. Viva la vita, questa vita che. Long live life, this life that. And we have the same structure in the first and the second part of the chorus, with a difference. È solo un battito. It's just a heartbeat. Un lungo battito. A long heartbeat. As you can see, battito went very strong in this Sanremo 2025, so much so that one of the songs with that title even ended up in the top 5. And so, like, we see, okay, long live life as it is, a life that it is just a moment. Why? Because we said that life is a poem, a heartbeat, a moment, a blink in the eternity. But then, why the need to repeat it? And why the need to put the battito? The battito is heartbeat, okay? And first of all, it is something very rapid, just like un attimo. But it ideally connects to the heart, right? So you have not only the idea of the fleeting moment, okay? Caducità in Italian. I don't remember right now how to translate it in English. But it is also something that in our imagination, usually, it is related to the feelings. Because yes, technically the heart is not the source of our feelings, but in many human imagery, the heart represents the feelings. So not only to connect the idea of life to its how short it is, how brief it is, but also how full of emotions. Again, I am interpreting here. I am not sure 100%. So this is my interpretation. And then we have the chorus. A darsi il cambio, to take turns, ad aiutarsi, to help each other, a consumarsi al vento, to wear out in the wind. Assomigliarsi, looking alike, pelle e ossa, skin and bones, stesso fuoco dentro, same fire inside, insieme due paralisi, together two paralysis, faranno un movimento, will make a movement, insieme non si perderanno mai, together they will never lose each other. Now, again, we have our good dose of cryptic lyrics. Okay, so we have this life full of emotion, which is also very brief. And what happens in this life? Well, first of all, on this earth, we take turns, ci diamo il cambio. Why? Because ideally, when you die, someone else will come in your place, right? The circle of life. But also to help each other. It is a very optimistic perception of life, of course. And to wear out, to consume ourselves in the wind. Now, because the wind gives the idea of freedom, maybe, so like the idea of living your life plenty, fulfilling your dreams, and so like burning a bit, but in a positive way, because you do it for passion, like living it. Okay, so in this case, consuming is not negative, it is just the normality, because we are destined to die. And so we consume ourselves, but at this point it is better to consume ourselves in what makes us free. Again, personal interpretation. But also a life where, despite everything, as human beings we look alike, we are the same. Pelle ed ossa. I put the euphonic D because it makes me feel better even if like it is not there. So, normally pelle e ossa is an idiomatic expression that means very thin, okay? But in this case, I really think it has to be meant literally as skin and bones. So we are the same inside. It is the same skin, the same bones. We are the same. Stesso fuoco dentro, same fire inside. Now, fire is always like, it is often the representation of passion, of life. Ok, il fuoco della vita, the fire of life. It is related to the concept of warmness, it is related to the idea of light. It is a very important element, mainly when we think about human life. In fact, we have different myths from different mythologies where we have one of the gods giving the fire, or like the human accessing the fire, because the fire, it is one of the most important discoveries for human beings. It is playing a big role in our evolution. Okay, it is the representation of many things related to life in a positive way, of course. And then we have the two negatives making a positives, making a positive. So two paralysis making a movement. And and they will never lose each other. Now, what exactly this means or refers to right now, it doesn't come to mind. I know it is a reference to something, but it doesn't come to mind right now. I tried to do researches. It is scratching the back of my head. I know it is a reference to something, but I don't remember what. So if I manage to find out, I'm going to let you know in the comments, or if any of you remembers and noticed this, let me know in the comments. And then we have the second verse. E dimmi una bugia. And tell me a lie, la mezza verità, the half truth, che tanto poi si sa. Because in the end we all know. Che cosa vuoi che sia? What do you want it to be? Like, don't worry, no big thing. Su tutti i lividi, on all the bruises, farà da anestesia. It will act as anesthesia. E se ci brucerà, and if it will burn us, e se ci porta via, and if it takes us away. Repeat it 2 times. Again, other many cryptic lines in these lyrics. So basically, tell me a lie, like what could this lie be? At this point, I would say the negation that life is just a moment in eternity. A half-truth, because in the end, we don't know what awaits for us after our death, right? So maybe the fact that life is a moment in eternity is not a lie, is not a truth, just a half-truth. And then, che tanto poi si sa. Tanto poi si sa, it literally translates as anyway, then, after, it is known, okay? Where in Italian this expression is used like tanto poi si sa, everyone knows, okay? No, Gaso, bear with me. I promise the ending of the story of the song is positive. This is a positive. This is a positive song, I promise. It also because Gabbani is very optimistic, so don't worry. And that's why it's important la mezza verità, because in the end, we don't know what's up. So it could be, it is not just a blink. It is a blink. It is just a moment, the life as we know it, because that's a matter of fact. But after, we don't know, said the agnostic. And then, as I was saying, che cosa vuoi che sia? Literally it is, what do you want it to be? But this is the literal translation. In Italian, when we say, che cosa vuoi che sia? It's like, it's not a big problem, it's no big deal, okay? So, this is like saying, it's no big deal, okay? And then, su tutti i lividi, on all the bruises, farà da anestesia. So, it will act as anesthesia. What? The half-truth, the beauty of life. I don't know exactly what this is referring to, okay? Of course, the bruises are all the bad things happening in life. But what is this anesthesia that allows us to keep going and taking all these bruises? So like the force pushing us in among the events, through the events of life, hurting us. life itself, the promise that afterlife will have a higher and better life, the idea that we'll have a sort of retribution if we keep going through difficulties and hardships, okay? But maybe this passion for life, the positive or negative perception we have of it, because again, I'm not sure what is this anesthesia. It could be the fact that we panic because life is just a moment, but it could also be the fact that we convince ourselves as human beings that there is something after death. And then like, e se ci brucerà, and if it will burn us, like if will actually damage us or like take us away, so from the path or generally from reality. Again, these lines are open to several interpretations. So the way you perceive this song, in my opinion, it is also strongly related to the perception you have of life, okay? And then, Jesus. And then we have once again the pre-chorus. Viva la vita così com'è. Long live life as it is. Viva la vita, questa vita che è. Long live life, this life that. È solo un attimo. It's just a moment, un lungo attimo, a long moment. Viva la vita finché ce n'è. Long live life as long as there is any. Viva la vita, questa vita che è. Long live life, this life that. È solo un battito, is just a heartbeat, un lungo battito, a long heartbeat. And then, as promised, we have the chorus, but with a variation. A darsi il cambio, to take turns, ad aiutarsi, to help each other, a consumarsi al vento, to consume each other, to consume ourselves, to wear out in the wind. And until here it's the same. Assomigliarsi, looking alike, pelle e ossa, skin and bones, stesso fuoco dentro, same fire inside. And then here we have the changing. Insieme due paralisi, together two paralysis, faranno un movimento, will make a movement, and until here is the same, but this part changes. Insieme due romantici, together two romantics, alle porte dell'inferno, at the gates of hell. And here, again, it really depends on the perception you have of life, because you can see that you can interpret it as two people who are romantics, so like seeing the world with pink tinted glasses can stand even at the gates of hell. That might be this life with all its difficulties, right? It really opens again to many interpretation, and it really reflects your perspective of life, in my opinion. And then we have the outro, which is a variation of the pre-chorus. Viva la vita così com'è. Long live life as it is. Viva la vita, questa vita che è. Long live life, this life that. È solo un attimo, is just a moment. Un lungo attimo, a long moment. Ma in fondo tu lo sai quello che sento. But deep down you know what I feel. è vivere davvero ogni momento. It's truly living every moment. So, a little note, as usual, because repetita iuvant, the verb sentire in Italian has different has several meanings. It can mean to hear, it can mean to smell, but it can also generally mean to feel, and of course in this case it is to feel. So, what is the end of this story? That despite everything, despite how we live, despite what life is, according to the artist, what it really matters to him is living every moment and enjoying, like being present in every moment. And in fact, in the video, in the official video of the song, to realize it, they invited Francesco Gabbani, the artist of the song, in a cinema, in a one of the not rooms, not halls, like the room where you go to watch the movie, okay? The theater, in one of the theaters. And they played for him a little movie, which was a patchwork of all the important moments of his life until that moment. If you watch it, you might have the impulse, like me and Alex, of cringing very hard, because we live in an era where everything is faked. So we are two beautiful skepticals. We are skeptical people. So when we watch certain movies, like dubbed, nice try, bro. But actually, I have to be honest, I wouldn't have the same reaction of crying like a little bitch, just like Gabbani in the video. So, like, the video is well done. I can say anything, despite my skeptical bitching and cringing. Like, it's well done. But now it is time. The time has arrived to have some gossip now. What was the problem with this song? Okay. This song arrived 8th. Like, we are talking about top 10, okay? Now, despite arriving 8th, so in top 10, even before the beginning of Sanremo Music Festival, the lyrics was a bit criticized. For example, I read an article where it was described as average, quite simple, and really underwhelming considering other works by the same artist, not only Occidentali's Karma, with which he won the previous Sanremo he participated in, but also compared to other more recent works and albums. Now, is this true? I'm not sure, because I've seen as a evaluation a 6 out of 10. Probably it's true, because we have very beautiful images like life is a poem in the eternity. I really loved this image, okay, this description. Generally, the song is nice, but yeah, like, sometimes is a bit repetitive, a bit lazy in certain spots. So yeah, I actually understand about the 6 out of 10. I didn't expect that to rank so high, but it's true that Gabbani is an ex-winner. He did very good. He's a good artist, so I didn't expect it, but I was like, okay, sort of like we can agree to disagree sort of situation. Like this song is not bad, but it's not among my favorite either. Despite not being a love, well, it is a love song technically towards life, but not in the classic way we expect. Now, what made some people not very happy was the approach of the singer about everyone must be grateful for being alive. Because the issue is that this sentence stinks a bit of privilege and first world life. It is like a bit simplistic for sure, but it's always a bit like the idea of like, yes, you love life because you are a famous artist, you have everything you need, you probably didn't ever suffer any discrimination or real problem in your life. No shit that for you life is beautiful. Go and tell everyone must be grateful for being alive, for people dying of hunger, living in a war, being discriminated from the day they are born to when they die. Let's see if then they are really grateful for being alive. Or like simply people, for example, burdened with depressive disorders or other disorders making life very hard. Why am I saying this? Because in Italy right now, like not only right now, is an ancient dilemma, the one concerning euthanasia in Italian, which is the option for people to die, even if technically you could keep them alive. Okay. It is very debated because we have the Catholic Church under our asses, and this, of course, has to be taken into consideration, socially speaking. And the presence of the Vatican City within the Italian soil, of course, influenced the fact that we still don't have a law concerning this type of medical intervention or abstention, because it can concern people who are in coma and they don't want to be reanimated. People who are caught in accident and they don't want to be reanimated, or like people who are in coma and after some time you have to take the choice of in Italian we say staccare la spina, literally to unplug the thing for the current. Right now doesn't come to mind the term. Which is basically when you have to decide if the person will or will not keep being sustained by life supports. Okay. Until also other people who are affected by serious diseases, who feel like their life is unbearable as it is. We have several examples, like people are burdened by oh my god, how is it called? Because in Italian is SLA, arteriosclerosis, or even at certain extent very serious forms of depression, or other health issues. So, in a world where we don't really live in a utopia, where there are a lot of situation very complex and painful, going out there carried by your privilege and just saying, yeah, everyone must be grateful of being alive, for being alive. I don't know, man. I don't know. Because yes, in an ideal world, everyone is happy, everyone is grateful for being alive, and it's perfectly fine if someone comes to me and like tells me, I am so grateful for being alive. My God, this life is amazing. It's great. Like, fair. It is your perspective. The issue of lifestyle perspectives, ideas, and whatnot is when you try to force them on others or sell them as absolute truth. Okay, so if you tell me, okay, I made this song because for me life is this, and I feel grateful for being alive, no problem. You are an artist, you express your point of view. We are very grateful that you bless us with your art. We are very happy. Each artist has a specific point of view. They express it through your music, and everything is fine and nice. The problem is that when he said dobbiamo essere grati di essere vivi, because for the simple fact that it is not up to you. Objectively, there is an incredible amount of pain going around in this world, and I don't know, one of the main criticisms concerning this song, in a nutshell, was basically what is called the toxic positivity, where like you have to be positive at all costs, like positivity at all costs. Of course, it doesn't work like this, right? Because in the end, the idea of the song is, it is true that compared to eternity, our life is just a moment, just a blink, just a heartbeat. It is true that we are not sure what happens next, but in the end, we love, we feel, we are happy, we are not. Yeah, guys, yeah. It's like we are lucky because in the end we are not sure that death it's the end of everything, and we still have the moment we enjoyed in life. So no matter what happens next, the important thing is enjoying what we had, because in the end we have no certainties. But go like, if this is your perception as an artist, because you are like, I am happy about my life, and you're like, okay, you have children, I don't know, I'm not very informed about the life of Francesco Gabbani, but like, you won Sanremo, you are very happy, you are a great artist, you have a good family, you are happy, like, it is your right to be happy about your life. Bless you, only the best, wishing only the best to you, but try to not impose the same idea and perspective on other people, because many people are not as lucky as you. And pretending to, like, demanding to tell people often less fortunate than you that life actually is beautiful and everyone should be grateful about it, it is a bit pretentious, okay? It is a bit the thing about I'm terribly depressed. Oh, as Gaso was saying, have you tried not being sad? Or like, have you tried to do some exercise? Like, okay, being an optimist. Okay, being positive. Okay, enjoying your life. Okay, being grateful to be alive. The line is about not push it on other people. Don't pretend you know the life of other people, because also feeling frustrated, not being happy, these are all perfectly and legitimate feelings, because imagine someone who's already having a quite shitty life also having a rich guy who's doing great telling them, huh, why aren't you grateful about your life? Can you stop fucking being depressed? Like, of course, not only you're already having a shitty life, but you are also being criticized because the reason apparently why your life is not great enough is because you are not grateful about what you have. Of course, focusing on the good things of your life mentally helps you. Like, if among 10 things, only one is good and 9 are bad, focusing on the only good thing you have helps you keep going. It is a thing that I've seen with many people. Like, I'm having a shitty life, I'm having 1,000 problems, at least I can see my family, at least I can see my children. And I'm going to focus on this because this is what keeps me going. Like, it's the classic thing about what keeps you going. But first of all, this doesn't make all the problems magically disappear. And on the other side, sometimes it is hard to find something that keeps you going. So having someone that from a wellness, from a situation of wellness goes and tells other, oh, why aren't you grateful about your life? I don't know. You can't. You are not really in the position to do that. So probably, I guess maybe the intention was good. The execution was not really. Also because often the problem is then the artists talk and pretend their art is delivered in a very specific way, or that must suscitate specific feelings, like, oh, wow, I made a song about how nice life is and how grateful we should be. Why don't you feel happier after you listen to it? Because we are not all the same, because people are complex creatures, and you can't always have what you want in your life, I guess. So the issue is always a bit like, maybe the song is nice, but then the artist has to speak, and then like is where disaster unfolds. But yeah. So overall, the song is not bad, not the best, but a bit the issue was about this sort of toxic positivity that came more from the artist than the song, because the song, it is what it is. In the end, it is okay. And of course, if you think that it's a little bit the same discourse of Simone Cristicchi, if a song helps you, you like it doesn't matter what other people say. The important thing is that you like it and you feel good about it. At the same time, it is also okay if you don't agree with this view, because everyone has a different life, everyone has different feelings, and you can't simply impose your views on others and call it a day. Life doesn't work like that. So yeah. this was pretty much what I had to say about this song. I hope you like the song, at least someone will enjoy it. As I said, I'm okay with it, not my favorite, but I'm okay with it. And I also hope you enjoyed this stream. That said, don't forget to let me know in the comments what you think about this song. That said, grazie everyone for watching and arrivederci.